for coming to my channel. I am Jackie Horton, your wellness and health specialist. I am here to promote wellness and good health.
The real you is breathing down your neck, begging you to manifest. It's got to be a lifestyle change. When you shift your paradigm, when you shift your thinking, only then what you see in your head, you will hold in your hand.
Hello. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome. Thank you for joining me this evening. I am Jackie Horton, your virtual wellness and health coach. And Friday's a little bit different than the other days. So thank you for joining me. So I sort of renamed the Friday episode because it is the Village Circle. And it's just an open discussion eventually to just kind of talk about different things that have taken place over the course of this week and how those things sort of affects us. It affects our PMS, our physical, our mental, and our spiritual. And so for this session, I sort of like to step out of my typical role as a specialist in behavior health, as well as as a life and health coach. I kind of just am Jackie on Fridays, so to speak. And so my thoughts and my opinions belong to me. And they're just to be shared and try to stimulate some conversation, just to hear more from the larger community of their thoughts. And so Friday, I like to consider myself or describe myself as a reformed woman, a reformed Vision Aries woman that likes to hear from the larger community about issues that impact all of our PMS, our physical, mental, and spiritual. So thinking about the course of this week, we had a lot of things to take place. And I'm just going to highlight a few things that sort of resonated with me, but also brought some discussions that I had in my private small circle villages as well. So the first thing that impacts a lot of us are the student loans and the student loan forgiveness program. I feel like there's been a great amount of attention on this, and I appreciate that. I wanted to applaud those who got a lot of their student loans eliminated recently, and then they had a second set. And I'm glad to see that, because I think that it is progress. At first, I don't think any of us knew anybody who were even eligible for the student loan program. So it is good to see that there's evidence of progress in that area. However, I think for many Americans, this student loan piece really is almost like an ironclad agreement. You will take it with you to your death. And although I do understand if you take out a loan, you should pay it and so forth and so on, I really would like to see some more changes in that. One is I would suggest that the daily interest be eliminated completely. I think that would help a lot of people. And then the other thing is, I do believe that if you work in certain professions for over, I would say, 15 years or 20 years, there should be some kind of modification with your loan. Because if you work in a service-oriented field, you have served if you've done it for 15 years. So those are my little thoughts about the whole student loan issue. And I think the other thing that comes up for me in the future is, being able to pay for your own child or children's school without loans. It almost appeared that any scholarships or any grants or any assistance is really based on a very, very small criteria, which means that going to a university or going to a college of higher learning, some young people are just declining because they don't want to come out of college with a debt of $50,000, and they probably won't get their first job making $50,000 for some, not everybody. But that's just my thoughts. So chime in, let me know what you think about that. The other issue that came up for me was that's been in discussion, and has been very impactful, is just what's going on with the whole trans community and women. Reading some articles around, some state was requested to refer to basic physical attributes of a woman, vagina being called a bonus hole, making sure that women who are biologically refer to themselves as cis women, and is really demanding. I do know that there are some women, biological women, who support biological men who have gender dysphoria to, purport this. But I think it sort of has a veil of hostility and intimidation and demands that are meaning to work on biological females' psyche and physical being. And I'm a little bit concerned how this is not any longer a place of space, but it's almost a place of you will do it the way we want you to do it, because we want you to do it this way. Anything else beyond what we want is not going to be tolerated or acceptable. And I'm getting very concerned about this message. It's kind of misogynistic as well. It is a form of toxic masculinity, veiled in female garments and female expressions and so forth. And I think we need to really look at this and talk about this a little bit more, because that is not the way things get done to help the larger community, by intimidating the group that's you're trying to be included in. But hey, I'm open to hear your thoughts. Like I said, Friday's an open space. I am here just as Jackie, and just want to talk to the larger community. The other thing that came up was the Carly story. And that was a little bit triggering for me, partly because I'm a Black female, and two, I work in mental health. And there have been so much done to get some equality, some equitable, treatment, so much compassion training. I've been a trainer of compassion services with police officers, youth security officers, and so forth. And so it kind of triggered a more global experience for me, because that's a community that I work with, and that is a community that I'm a part of. And so although I feel relieved that Carly is fine, and I do believe there was a good reason at the time she did all that. However, I think the consequence for her is going to be very, very, very detrimental. And not only for her, because when any of our family members have a consequence of that magnitude, we all take the hit as well. So I'm praying for her and her family, and I'm also praying that nothing changes as far as the work that we have done for the bigger community of Black women, as well as mental health services. And that may just be my little trigger, but it seems like right now it is being addressed with the individual solely. So let me know what you think about that too. And then finally, my lovely friends, I think the last thing was just thinking about America's identity. I really feel like there's a huge fight for America's identity to be reshaped. And so when I think about climate change, I think of this as well as the environmental climate, because the point is to have long-standing patterns of how we operate. And our identity, there's an identity crisis, but there's also an identity fight between the I influenced person and then the group influenced person, or the I who's a part of the larger group influenced person. And the I person, or the I identity person, usually starts off, well, I do what I want to do. And that's a little bit hard for me, because that is a truth statement. You can do what you want to do, but you're not totally isolated from the larger community. And so because we are not somewhere, just by ourselves, doing what you want to do does roll into the larger community. And that is a defensive statement, that is a power statement, that is a, try me statement. And okay, that's fine. But, I'm getting really concerned about this shift in I identity as opposed to we identity. And how it's appearing to be very disruptive. And so for those who don't want to be a part of the larger group, for certain selective things, they still benefit from the larger group from certain things. So that's my conclusion for Friday, TGIF. And this is from the Reformed Woman Aries Corner. And this is just talking about my opinions and thoughts, and I would like to welcome yours and see what you're thinking about it. Your thinking is about it. And Friday, I will tell you, to me, always has a little triggering, because it always it can always include in the village circle, which is what I call it. Anything that takes place around race, class, gender, religion, and politics. And I would like to make this a safe space. Thank you so much. You guys have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday for Mental Health Monday. Thanks for supporting the channel. Continue to encourage those to subscribe, hit the alert button and the like button. Give me some pushback if you want to. I'll welcome it in a respectful manner. And thanks again. Bye.